Good morning, friends. Uh, Up to this lecture, we have completed 2 units of energy conservation and management. Then our third unit is very interesting, that is cogeneration. In this, we have to discuss case study of cogeneration in sugar factories. This is our practical. And then various option of cogeneration in industries. Then selection criteria of cogeneration and control strategy of cogeneration. First of all, what is need of cogeneration? Here, this is need of cogeneration. We will draw the diagram for this. Here, this is energy loss from stack. Energy loss due to unburn condition. This is ash and this is dust. This is energy input by coal. This loss of energy due to hot surface. This is energy loss due to blowdown. This is steam turbine. This is boiler. This is cooling tower. This is energy loss. This is condenser. Here is also energy loss in the steam turbine. Maximum here, the rate of energy losses is maximum than the utilization of that energy, right? Then we have to solve this problem with any system, and we call that system as a cogeneration. So in the thermal power plant, major sources of electricity supply in India, the conventional method of power generation and supply to the customer is wasteful, in the sense that only about a third of the primary energy fed into the power plant is actually made available to the user in the form of electricity. In conventional power plant, efficiency is only 35% and remaining 65% of energy is lost. Here we have draw the diagram of energy losses from starting to end, right? So this is point wise energy losses. The major source of loss in conventional process is the heat rejected to the surrounding water or air due to the inherent condition for the different thermodynamic cycle employed in the power generation. Also, further losses of around 10 to 15% are associated with the transmission and distribution of electricity in the electrical grid. So here energy losses from the stack, this is dust, right? That is dust removal or flue gas removal or dust removal. So next is principle of cogeneration. See here, what is actually cogeneration? Cogeneration or combined heat and power, that is CHP, is defined as the sequential generation of two different forms of useful energy from a single primary energy source, right? This is about the cogeneration. Typically, mechanical energy and thermal energy are the outputs of the cogeneration. Mechanical energy may be used to drive an alternator for producing electricity, or rotating equipment such as motor, compressor, pump or fan for delivering various services. Thermal energy can be used either for a direct process application or for indirectly producing steam, hot water, hot air for a dry air, or chilled water for a process cooling. Cogeneration provides a wide range of technologies for application in various domains of economic activities. The overall efficiency of energy use in cogeneration mode can be up to 85% and above in the some cases. So advantages of cogeneration, I'll draw the simple diagram for this. This is electricity, 24%. This is power station. Loss 42. This heat 34. Boiler, heating boiler is 40. And here fuel is equals to 68. Then loss 10% and CHP plot. Right, this is a Sankey diagram. Here I will discuss this example. Right, an industry requires 24 units of electrical energy and 34 units of heat energy. Right, 24 and 34 heat. Through separate heat and power route, the primary energy input power plant will be 60 units. Right, if separate boiler is used for steam generation, then fuel input to the boiler will be 40 units. If the plant had cogeneration, then fuel input will be only 68 units to meet both electrical and thermal energy requirements, and it can be observed that losses which were 42 units then in the case of the separate separate that and power has reduced to 10 units in cogeneration mode. Along with the saving of fossil fuels, cogeneration also allows to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases. Electricity being on site, the burden on the utility network is reduced and the transmission line losses eliminated. Then cogeneration makes sense from both micro and macro perspectives. At the macro level, it allows a part of the financial burden and the national power utility to shared by the private sector. In addition, indigenous energy sources are conserved. At the micro level, the overall energy bill of users can be reduced, particularly when there is a simultaneous need for both power and heat at the site. And rational energy tariff is practiced in the country. Next point, factors influencing cogeneration. There are 4 factors which influence on the cogeneration, that is base electrical load matching, then base thermal load matching, electrical load matching, and thermal load matching. The selection and operation scheme of cogeneration system is very much site specific and depends upon these factors. First one is base electrical load matching. In this configuration, the cogeneration plant is sized to meet the minimum electricity demand of the site based on the historical demand curve. The rest of the needed power is purchased from the utility grid. The thermal energy requirement of the site could be met by the cogeneration system along or by additional boilers. And please give me 1 minute. Next, base thermal load matching. Here cogeneration system is sized to supply minimum thermal energy requirement at site. Standby boiler or burner are operated during period when the demand for heat is higher. The prime mover install operates at fuel load at all times. If the electricity demand of the site exceeded that which can be provided by prime mover, then the remaining amount can be purchased from the grid. Likewise, if local laws permit, the excess electricity can be sold to the power utility. Next, electrical load matching. In this operation scheme, the facility is totally independent upon power utility grid. All the power requirements of the site, including the reserves needed during scheduled and unscheduled maintenance, are to be taken into account while sizing the system. This is also referred to as a stand-alone system in the thermal energy demand of the site is higher than that generated by the cogeneration system. Auxiliary boilers are used. On the other hand, when the thermal energy demand is low, some thermal energy is wasted. If there is a possibility, excess thermal energy can be exported to neighboring facilities. And last one is thermal load matching. The cogeneration system is designed to meet the thermal energy requirement of the site at any time. The prime movers are operated following the thermal demand. During the period when the electricity demand exceeds the generation capacity, the deficit can be compensated by power purchased from the grid. Similarly, if the local legislation permits, local body, government body permits, electricity produced in excess at any time may be sold to the utility. These are the factors influencing on the cogeneration choice, right? Then in next lecture we will going to discuss the important technical parameters in the cogeneration. So we will stop here. We will meet in the next lecture. If you have any doubt, you can ask anytime on the phone. So thank you very much.